video 3. So we talked about our mum, Kashfi. Let's talk for a minute about our dad. Everyone always talks about our dad, but he's very present in a lot of the things we do and think, because he wasn't such a loud character in our lives, I think. He never shouted, "Put yourself together."
Never.
But
well, once with the battering ram.
we were battering down our older sister's door.
Sorry about that, Sarah.
It horrified
He
him.
was having a rest, and we had a very, very good battering ram.
Actually, he said, not put yourself together then. He said,
He was quiet.
"What are you doing?"
But
And we
very,
said,
very quietly.
"We're just battering with a log, a tree stump."
Which we'd brought from the bottom field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd stack it up the stairs with it. But what are the first things you remember about him when we were kids?
I agree. He was always very measured, and he never embarrassed us in any way. He was always very interested in what we had to say. He was always typing, quite often smoking, very often telling a story, and he was really interested in people. Whenever somebody came to the house, it was like new input. It didn't matter if they might have been the milkman or the...
Exactly. No, he'd always corner the milkman, which is probably why the milkman didn't give us the stickers we wanted, because he had been read to or lectured at. What I always think is, firstly, how he never contradicted himself, not even once.
Very true.
And secondly, how he couldn't have small talk. He didn't do small talk.
I think that, again, was because he was interested in things. He wanted to find out more and more. He didn't want to talk about the weather or what someone's favorite... Well, he might have been interested in what someone's favorite crisp pack flavor was, but he didn't like meaningless conversation.
Yeah.
Really.
No, he always drilled down incredibly deep. Sorry, we can hear the dogs barking because they've been locked up through there. But he loved deep... Not deep conversation, like in a sort of spooky hippie way, but he loved drilling down into the essence of things.
He also liked to observe people and see how they reacted in certain situations, I think. And sometimes I think he did with us. He put us on the spot. Do you remember? With teachers or...
Well, I remember at my terribly horrific prep school, where
it was horrific.
Rose Hill Preparatory School for Boys. School colours were grey and pink. He was invited, they were invited to sports day, and they knew I wasn't naturally inclined on sports. Yeah. I was not gifted. So he brought 30 people to the school, but they arrived after the races and arrived for tea, and he held court with his delighted friends, and they brought chairs. They didn't bring, I mean, I'm so scarred by this. They didn't bring fold-up
no, they brought real
deck chairs. They brought chairs from the cottages and the dining room and sat around. And it was Rose Hill Preparatory School for Boys became a sort of Afghan encampment for a few minutes.
But I like that. And I think we still do that. We are chaotic sometimes, but we also aren't afraid to be peculiar.
Yeah,
I think.
No, we're proud of it. It took time to get over sticking out.
It was harder if you were a boy and it was prep school. I mean, I think it was maybe easier in those days if you were a girl to be strange. But even then, quite difficult. And now I think it's embraced a bit more, to be honest. And I think girls especially now, because the pendulum has really swung, are told to be themselves and be proud of who they are. And know, I'm all for
and
that.
To learn to invent yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, we learnt that a lot from Mina. So our father's sister, who was
we'll talk about it in a second.
Very
Hold
wonderful.
that